Welcome back to another episode of Prop Party. That's right. There's only a few weeks left, but we are covering the best alts, anytime touchdowns, and parlays for the divisional round weekend in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Thursday. It's Prop Party. I'm incredibly depressed that we only have 3 more weeks of the NFL season, but I'm coping with we have got to build some winners here this week. Conference final week, Super Bowl. We'll obviously have multiple weeks of Super Bowl shows, by the way. But now I got to talk to my guys, see how they're doing, help me combat my depression of the end of football season. You know, winter blues, end of football season. I'm clearly fighting a cold, so if I cough, I apologize. But we're going to power through because we have got to find some winners for this weekend in this 4-game divisional round slate. Tyler, how are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, my camera's inverted for some reason. I really don't know why. So we're just going to roll with it, but let's see what happens. I mean, wildcard weekend was fun. We did really good. Let's just hopefully we do it again in divisional round.
I like it. Before I get to Steve, always good to see Tim in chat, Jamie in chat. We got our guy Andrew in chat. Tim did a little left hand up, Commanders. Andrew's talking Commanders, Redskins. I still say Redskins. Redskins, hail victory. Dave and Goliath this week for sure. Tim says Destiny for Jaden Daniels. I know I heard, obviously, hopefully you guys have listened to the show so far this week. Spread and Tyler recap things on Monday, NFL betting card Tuesday. Andrew and Justin were on last night going through the Battle Royale slate. Andrew and Justin will be on tomorrow night. Of course, the DGen dads. Be sure to check that out. But yeah, no, I heard some interesting things. Tyler, I think your line of thinking, I believe, is on the recap show. The Washington situation feels so much like Houston's situation last year, and it's a great story and it's awesome. And as Washington fans, we love where the future is heading and it's amazing, but we're playing with house money. I'm happy. Of course we want to win, but I'm so realistic. And I definitely think this could be very similar to the Houston Baltimore game last year.
No, I'm right with you. I mean, congratulations to you, Meg. You have one more playoff win than me in the last 8 years. So this great coach that everyone says we have, he hasn't been able to win shit. I think this is that train. This is the spot where the Washington train stops, though, because as much of fun of a story as they are, they have their guys. They just don't have all their guys to make the run yet. They have the quarterback, the coaching's there, but you just look at recent games, 23-20 with Tampa Bay in that wild card game. Tampa Bay's defense is pretty bad.
Yeah. No,
23-19 against a Trey Lance-led Dallas team when your starters were on the field is not a good sign. Overtime with Atlanta, who kind of petered out at the end. You beat Philly with Kenny Pickett on the field. You probably should have won that one. You beat New Orleans by 1 when they went for 2 and could have pushed it to overtime. It's a fun story. They've snuck out a lot of wins.
Yeah.
I don't think you're sneaking this one out.
No, I don't either. And again, that's why we got the 4 main things you need. Most importantly, owner. Obviously, goodbye, Dan Snyder, and amazing ownership. Owner, GM, coach, quarterback. So excited about the future. But yeah, I joke about the Chiefs playing with a horseshoe up their ass. Nobody's had a bigger horseshoe up their ass than Washington this year. We've got a double joink. We've got a Hail Mary that didn't even reach the end zone. We've got multiple other crazy things at end of games. But you know what? Again, we're having fun. We're loving it. I'm just going to enjoy watching them another round. But I think we're what Detroit was a couple years ago. And for that, I'm excited, for the future. So yeah, no, I mean, as far as these games go, Spread and Tyler broke down, game by game, what we're looking at. We're here to talk about the props. So we're going to do just that. We are going to talk about first, of course, alts. We like to find those plus money bangers. You don't have to, be perfect then. You can certainly miss a few. We try to hit as many as we possibly can, but getting those plus money bangers is really nice to have a very profitable season. And that's what we're looking to do, to continue, I should say. So alts, what is your favorite alts that you're seeing? I'll go to you first, Tyler.
I'm going to go right to the first game.
Yeah.
Doesn't Kelsey at 50.5 seem really low?
Yeah.
I'll gladly alt that up to 80. I think he's right back to where he was last year. He didn't do anything in the regular season. Everyone said he was washed. Playoffs roll around, there's your 12 targets again, and he's right back to getting the ball a lot. There's a lot of more weapons there now, though, but I still think he's going to be the safety blanket in the end. I think that they put it right back into gear against Houston, and they probably cover this number also. I think they're moving the ball through the air. I think they can move it on the ground, too. Like, Pacheco's number seems low. 41.5 on his rushing yards. I know Hunt's there, too, but I don't think Hunt eats into the workload as much now that we're in the playoffs.
I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see Pacheco's involvement. I mean, they've essentially had a month off. You know, they haven't played
so he's got to be close to fully healthy, if not fully healthy. It's probably his backfield at this point, so I don't mind altering him up to, say, 70, 80 also. But those are the two Chiefs I'd be targeting. The Detroit game, I mean, target whatever you want on the Detroit side, in my opinion.
They have an applied total of, 33, 34 points? I mean, absolutely.
I want Jaden Daniels rushing yards. Running quarterbacks have always done good against this Detroit team. They're going to pressure the man. It's 54.5. He may run the ball 14 times on Sunday, especially if this game gets ugly. So I will gladly be on his rushing yards. I don't know if I'm going to alt it up very high. And the other one I was looking at was Montgomery. Montgomery at 45.5. No, it's his first game back, but
he got full practice this week. So
yeah, 45 is really low for a guy who can break one for 50 on one carry. So I'll probably alt him up to 70 on that 45.5. But that's pretty much it for me right now.
Okay. Let me jump at the chat first before we jump to Steve. RIP to Bob Uecker. Yeah, I know. Obviously, the Major League series he talks about the featuring Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn for the Indians. So yes, RIP to Bob Uecker. Andrew's got a prop that has hit 80% in the last 5, 16 in the last 10, 80% in the last 20. Lamar over 15.5 longest rush. FanDuel is one of the only books that still has it. Everywhere else is 16.5. That's a good look to also mentioning that FanDuel is the one that has a lower, Andrew. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, I think Lamar rushing and Henry rushing, I'm very, very, very interested against this Buffalo defense. I'm very interested to see kind of the chess matches of these defensive coordinators, how they're going to balance. Some of these are, rematches. Obviously, Henry ran all over Buffalo in the early matchup. Obviously, Rams-Eagles is a rematch. So we've got a couple of rematches here. Obviously, Houston-Kansas City, we saw that just a few weeks ago, right before Christmas. So a lot of these are rematches. I'm going to be very interested to see the chess, similar to you said you like Jaden. I like Jaden rushing too, but, obviously, Detroit has to know that's the key thing you guys stop. They did an excellent job kind of pivoting at the end of the year. They had faced Darnold, and then they brought the house and so I'm very interested. That's my long way of saying I'm very interested to see these chess matches between these offensive, defensive coordinators for sure. So, but with that said, definitely do like Jaden's rushing, do like Lamar's longest rush. So yeah, I'll go to you, Steve. What are some of the alts? I like Tyler's alts that he mentioned. What are the alts that you like?
I'm with Tyler. Travis Kelce is criminally low, but I also think Xavier Worthy is very low. We saw as the season wore on, Worthy was getting more and more usage, even with Hopkins, even with Marquise Brown coming back, even with Juju coming back. Xavier Worthy, they want to get the ball in his hands. You can get 50 plus minus 120, but 60 plus 135, 70 plus 215. This is a game, last week we saw the Texans get crushed by another rookie wide receiver. I don't think Worthy's getting 188 yards, but 70 plus, sign me up for. In the second game, the Commanders-Lions game, I'm going to go with another young, fast receiver, and that's Jameson Williams. 50, there's a big gap here. 50 is minus 145, but you go to 60 and it's plus 105, 70 plus 155, 80 plus 225. We know he's one of the most explosive players. They also have been utilizing him in some shorter routes, giving him more targets as the season wore on.
More target share, yeah.
And I just don't think Washington is a corner that can run with them. I mean, their corners, Lattimore's been banged up. Benjamin St-Juste can't run with guys. Are they going to put
He holds guys. I hope he doesn't hold.
Yeah.
Don't kill our JMO props by just holding.
But I think he'll probably be on the slot more and a lot more focus on Amon-Ra. So, yeah, I mean, I just think Jameson's a guy who can really crush Washington. I expect Detroit to come out firing. I do like Tyler's call, both the running backs, Pacheco and Montgomery. Their lines are low. Pacheco, he got eased in as the year Yes, he
Coming
got back
yeah.
the last couple of weeks, but he's now essentially had 2 bye weeks. Week 18 didn't play, and then last week. And this is the playoffs. They're going to use him. And same with Monty. He got the time to heal from his injury in the Bills game. Got the bye week, fully practicing.
Yeah.
I expect him to be fully back. One other prop I want to give from the Ravens Bills. I'm going to go. It still seems like Flowers maybe he plays, but I'm going to go Isaiah Likely.
I was going to say that too. Yeah.
40 plus 105, 50 plus 170. I don't know if I push it too much further beyond that. But I do think this game we know has shootout potential, and while a lot can come on the ground, I think Lamar is going to have to throw, what did he have last week? Like 170 or something. He's going to have to throw more in this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I think Likely is going to be a big beneficiary of that.
Yeah, and shout out to us being on Likely last week. That was one of the ones that definitely hit. Unfortunately, I think we had a low line one of Likely 40, Eckler 25, check. Did not get my guy Marvin Mims, did not get us home last week. So that was a bummer, but definitely hit the Likely 40 last week. And I like running that back. Anything else, Steve? And then I have a couple other ones.
Those are my ones that I feel good about alting up a little bit. There's plenty of guys I like at their lines or right around there. And honestly, I'll say the Eagles game is the toughest one for me because we know Barkley can dominate. And we've just seen, like, in some of those games, Hurts just doesn't get there. He doesn't throw a lot. Sure, A.J. Brown, he's going to win some targets. Goddard is low.
Got that book motivate him on the sidelines.
Yeah, Goddard is a lower line, so if you think 40 plus 110, but I don't think he really could push it beyond that. And then, Puka's line is so high.
Yeah.
Maybe if you feel like garbage time Cup,
Oof, that's
40,
been rough lately.
Yeah, I know, but they're going to need to be throwing late, I assume. So
I wouldn't mind a Higbee look when he finally posts.
Yeah, because he's been practicing, right?
It sounds like he's going to try and play, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll have to see what his number is because right now you can't get it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, no, I like all Tyler's. I like all yours. I'll just do a couple others and then go to some of the guys in the chat. Dalton Schultz, shout out to one of our Dub Club subscribers. You can see that link at the bottom. Only a few weeks left. You can get a free week and then $20 for the rest of the season. Alts, anytime touchdowns, parlays, every single slate. We'll have it tomorrow for Saturday for Sunday. And of course, the remaining will have a ton for obviously conference week and Super Bowl week. So check that out. But one of our subscribers always has pointed out from like week 3 or 4, Chiefs tight end funnel. And it has hit. I mean, the hit rate on the Chiefs tight end funnel has been not 100%, but damn close, really damn close to 100%. And Schultz hit his over. I believe he was over 40 in that matchup, 4 weeks ago or whatever. So like Schultz at 40, love a lot of Lions, unfortunately for us, but don't mind going Goff 275 passing. Yes, it could be on the ground because you can tack Washington on the ground, but this is the Lions where their implied total is 34 points, and I think that's correct. And so I think it's going to get there in multiple ways, on the ground, in the air. Give me Goff 275. Love JMO, love the Monty call. Gibbs, receiving still 25, even with Montgomery back. Before Montgomery got injured, they were both getting 25 receiving yards at a high clip. So I don't mind that. Gibbs is minus 105, I believe, on FanDuel for minus 102, for 25. Monty, his receiving line, if you just wanted to hit that, I think is like 14.5 or something like that. You're getting major plus odds if you thought he was involved more in the receiving game. So I think the Gibbs Monty receiving is very interesting, either at their line or 25. And then Eckler 25. I got a little greedy and altered him up to 40 in some spots, but he did hit 25 at the end. I think he's going to have to be. I was shocked that Brian Robinson was so involved in the passing game. They basically had a 50-50 split workload wise. I think Eckler gets more involved when everything's on the line for the season this week in the passing game and a potential like negative game script. So I like Eckler. So yeah, my additions are Schultz 40, Goff 275, Gibbs Monty. Looking at their receiving lines are 25, Eckler 25. Those are probably my favorites. I think as we talked about last week, you can also attack the quarterbacks rushing. Tyler mentioned Jaden's rushing. you can all these guys. We got a lot of running quarterbacks on the slate. Not as interested in Hurts as much, though he did run more than I expected, but obviously interested in Allen's line, Lamar's line, Jaden's line. So you got a lot of these spots for running quarterbacks this week. A lot of running quarterbacks on the slate. So don't mind that at all. Any final thoughts on alts, guys, before we jump to touchdowns?
One thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of running quarterbacks, Mahomes runs far more in the postseason
way more
in the regular season. And again, I know he's a little banged up at the end of the season, but he's had a couple weeks. I'm quite all right if you want to push him a little bit.
Yeah, no, I like that. What were you going to say, Tyler?
I was going to say I don't see it yet. I only see his alt receptions. Kyron's receiving yards for the Rams is set at 12.5.
He got more involved last week.
A lot of dump offs in that game last week.
Yeah.
I think in both game scripts that the way this game can go, in a close game script or a blowout, he probably gets some looks in the passing game.
That's a good call. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind hitting a 25, maybe even a 40 plus on that.
Yeah, it surprised me because he has not been one of those that you really hit in the receiving market that often, but he was way more involved. Got a receiving touchdown last week. I wouldn't even be surprised if you wanted to, like, let's see, what is Henry's line? I mean, they don't do it often, but his receiving line is so low. I know he went over in the Bills game.
6.5.
Yeah, I remember I hit it, and he got a receiving touchdown in the Bills game.
You're basically betting on him catching that screen.
Yeah.
And it's just the barricade of blockers is in front of him, and it's like, all right, he's taking this for all of about 80 yards or however long the field's left because no one's going to catch him or tackle him.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I definitely like his line. Like if you're interested in that, because he did, exceed that last time, got the receiving touchdown. Buffalo's terrible against running backs out of the backfield. And if Buffalo does kind of adjust to say, you're not running for like 200 yards on us, like you did last time early in the season, we're going to stack the box, whatever. And you got to think Ravens aren't just going to be like, well, Henry's not as big a part of the game plan. Get the ball in space,
And we're not paid to make those adjustments.
Right.
But let's play the hypothetical. What adjustment do you make to stop Derrick Henry after he ran for 202 touchdowns on you earlier in the year? You're just going to stack the box? Because then Lamar's going to run out the other side.
Right. That's what Steve said. When we were talking about it earlier, he said the exact same thing.
I think the line movement in that game is right. I think we might see a repeat of that regular season game.
Yeah. His rushing line is if you go 100 rushing, you get even money plus 100. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, one other thing I'd point to Henry in this passing side is on DraftKings, his receptions 2+ plus 160.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I
like that.
There was only a handful of games where he gets that, but I think this is the kind of game.
Yeah.
I remember, Christmas Day, he had 2 or 3 catches. Like, yes, he's never going to stack up 7 catches, but 2, 3, that's where you can get him at.
Yeah, I like those looks. Let's go to the chat. Jamie said he still likes, when Andrew mentioned Lamar's longest rush, so he still likes 16.5 for Lamar in this very cold weather game in Buffalo. Andrew says, do you like Zacchaeus or Diami this week? I think one of these guys will go over in man coverage with all man coverage over Terry. I agree. Shout out to Sharp Football and Rich Rebars. He does excellent worksheet write-ups. I need to research more, but I listened to him on a show last night and he was talking about kind of Zacchaeus has the better matchup because, the boundaries are much better coverage than slot coverage for Detroit. So, if Zacchaeus is in the slot, I like Zacchaeus is over, Diami obviously can get it on splash plays, but I would probably lean Zacchaeus. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I think Zacchaeus is safer. I don't hate Brown because I do think, similar to Baltimore, I think Washington is going to be needing to throw the ball. Jaden might be able to run, but I don't see the Washington running backs being able to run this game. So, I was looking, Zacchaeus obviously can do right at their line, but Zacchaeus 40 plus 130, Brown plus 100. I honestly like both, and that would be something I wouldn't mind parlaying together as well.
Okay. Speaking of parlaying together, Jamie says he parlayed Kelsey's over with his anytime like that. Look at plus 266 odds. And then he said, I promised the Friday night show, guys, I would bet Kyron TD because every time I do it misses. So I bet the 2 touchdowns. Thought it was going to hit since he hit so early. Yeah, he got that one really early. But That's funny. And I know the Friday night guys always appreciate you in chat too, Jamie. Okay, so we covered alts and talked through some other like kind of lines that we liked. Now, touchdowns, obviously, a lot of these running backs in these great spots are heavily juiced. Any plus odd touchdowns that you're eyeing up, Tyler?
It's not plus money, but it's really low for what it's been all year, and it's Kyron Williams.
Yeah. What is it?
I mean, what were we getting? Minus 200 most of the year, minus 180. He's minus 110.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that adjustment's a little wrong. So I'll gladly take a shot on him. I'll take a shot on Puka also at about plus 140. Like, I think they are very live in this game. I will have a ticket on their money line.
Okay.
I think they're going to be able to get to this defense, and that defense lost pieces last week. So I like the Rams in that spot. Kelsey at 165 isn't bad, but I want some Worthy at plus 210. I mean, I like Steve's call there. He's kind of in the Rashid Rice role, and he could easily burn one of these corners. Even Stingley, who's played so good. You can cover well, but when I'm just faster than you, can't keep up with me in a vertical line. So I like Worthy. I like Pacheco also at plus 145, and a couple guys we already mentioned, but I'll leave a couple others for you guys. I don't want to take them all. We only got 4 games.
No, I like those, Tyler, a lot. Andrew likes Mark Andrews, Zach Ertz, a little tight end, touchdown love. Steve, what do you like?
Yeah, I speaking of tight end touchdown love, I'm going to go Travis Kelce. You know, as Tyler said, postseason Kelce, we saw it last year in the postseason. He was just absolutely dominant, especially in and around the goal line or in the red zone. I agree with Tyler on both Pacheco and Worthy as well, but Kelce plus 150 I'm seeing on DraftKings. That is, to me, a very strong play. You know, the Lions-Washington game, it's minus money for Detroit's top 3 guys.
Yeah.
Probably going to parlay all 3 together. But, you know, look, Jameson Williams plus 140. They're giving him runs. They're giving him all sorts of looks. Sam Laporta plus 155. Basically, since Thanksgiving, he's been way more involved in this offense. I don't mind either of those. We're talking about a team that's essentially implied for 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think everyone eats. And then in the, you know, Saquon, I'll probably go 2 touchdowns if I'm doing that, but I do like the Kyron call. And, but in the Ravens-Bills game, I think you can, Derrick Henry is amazing. Obviously, Josh Allen at plus 110, I think is a good play. I like the Mark Andrews call, but also Rashard Bateman. Rashard Bateman's had a great touchdown equity all year. Again, doesn't look like any Zay Flowers. Not that he's a big touchdown threat, but still. Last week, Lamar barely threw. Bateman still got there. Give me in a game where I think Lamar's probably throwing, you know, 50% more than he did a week ago, at least. Bateman at 155.
Doesn't Baltimore Buffalo feel like the game where everyone's going to run and bet the top guys in the odds, try and make parlays, and we're going to have guys like Ty Johnson and Nelson Aguilar punching these touchdowns in?
Yeah. Oh, Baltimore and Buffalo are always famous for like the most rando touchdowns for sure.
Like Aguilar's plus 850. That might be worth a few bucks.
What's Ty Johnson? I mean, because Ray Davis has got to be out
475.
Yeah, I see 480 on FanDuel.
Beautiful touchdown catch last week from Allen. I assume Ray Davis will be out in the concussion protocol.
I'm not sure he woke up yet.
That hit was
bad.
That was bad. So yeah, Ty Johnson. We know how Buffalo likes to rotate their running backs. So Ty Johnson, like long odds look, because you're right. Baltimore and Buffalo are both famous for like the most randos. I mean, what is like their third tight end? Buffalo. I remember there's been times where I'm like, who? It's like
Quentin Morris.
Yeah, Quentin Morris. That's where it's like Quentin Morris. Great. This is awesome.
Didn't Dawson Knox have an end zone target last week? I mean, he's plus 550.
He had scored their first touchdown of the playoffs like the last 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to be the first touchdown of the game because Denver went in first, but he almost caught the first Bills touchdown. He missed them in the end zone. He's plus 550. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't hate that. If we're talking long odd stuff, I love the Dawson Knox and Ty Johnson. Honestly, I love either of those. I probably wouldn't parlay them together, but I love either of those for sure. I mean, how do you see this game going, Tyler? Do you think this one is like this? I mean, this is the marquee game that everybody's talking about. Do you think this smashes the over?
No. I mean, I think it could, but I think Baltimore honestly smashes Buffalo.
Really? I don't know. It's like 1 minute I'm
Like-
like, I love Buffalo. 1 minute I like Baltimore. This is a total coin flip.
when
to
I
me.
take those three teams in the AFC and you try and just like where can we break down which team's better than each other between the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills? It's like, well, of course the Chiefs have the best quarterback, the best coach, and probably the best defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The best quarterback and running back combination probably goes to Baltimore.
Right.
Who probably has the weakest defense at this point in the year? I say Buffalo, because Baltimore's defense has come on.
Yeah. No, they have come on.
I don't think James Cook's going to have the success he had running last week against Denver.
No, he's got a terrible matchup this week.
I think Derrick Henry's going to have success regardless. So it's like, it's all on Josh Allen, and we've yet to see that this year. They've kind of been not able to hide him, but all their game scripts really have just been like, okay, we're just going to play safe. You're not really going to have to play hero ball and take these shots down the field.
He did the Rams game, those two games that he blew up for 50. It was the Rams and the Lions,
in Detroit.
Right?
Yeah.
No, was it Rams and Lions? Yeah, and they won one and lost one. Yeah.
Neither of those games were ever where he was down, say, 2 touchdowns and Baltimore's going in to make it a 3-touchdown game. And now it's like, you have to put this ball in your hand to win the game.
Yeah.
I think maybe we see some interceptions flare back up. He takes a couple shots he shouldn't take. Baltimore gets a couple extra chances. Derrick Henry turns them into points. Baltimore walks to Kansas City.
Okay, so you love the Ravens. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I am telling you, I think that absolutely could happen. I am seesawing so much on this one. There's no way I would lay American dollars on the money line because I have zero confidence at all. But that's a very compelling case. If that does happen, though, I love Josh Allen's rushing. We know when his back's against the wall, he will just take off and play with his hair on fire, do whatever he's got. Body doesn't care, but body on the line doesn't care. So don't mind. I think you get plus odds at 50 plus. We talked about this last week, first week of playoffs. We're talking about this again. It's going to mean even more next week, and it's going to mean even more in the Super Bowl. These quarterbacks will run when needed. The only one that didn't last week was Herbert, which I needed for, and obviously he should have. And Darnold needed to run. He got his rushing property, needed to run more. But, the ones that didn't run should have, quite honestly. And the ones that did.
Year, Meg. It took all year and 14 wins out of that guy before I can finally say I won that battle between you and me with Sam Darnold.
Hey, I got 14 wins out of him.
You won the regular season, but I got him when it mattered. He finally showed his real face.
The offseason is going to be absolutely fascinating to see what happens with the quarterback. And we say this every end of the year, the quarterback carousel and how that spins out for sure. But quarterbacks this week, let's go right back to it. Rushing. If you think that's the game script for Ravens, I absolutely love Josh Allen rushing touchdown. Steve mentioned it. I believe you said it's plus 100 or 110.
Yeah. Plus 110, I think.
Yeah. Love Josh Allen rushing touchdown. Love Josh Allen rushing yards and alting the hell out of it because he doesn't have, I think, the elite weapons that Baltimore, that Lamar does and doesn't have the matchups like James Cook has a terrible matchup this week. So yeah, I definitely like the Josh Allen, just putting him on team on the back situation. All right. Any other touchdowns that you guys like? I know we covered a lot, and we covered a lot of long shot ones too, which is fun.
One thing I will say in the game script that Tyler says, not only do I like doing Josh Allen's rushing touchdown, but I also like parlaying it with his passing touchdowns.
Oh, I'm sure you get a lot of anti-correlated there, right?
Yeah. And because he plays hero ball. As much as Baltimore's defense has come on, we saw even in the second half of the game where the Steelers had multiple drives where they were able to move the ball. And Steelers offensive line is terrible. You say what you will about Russ, say what you will about anyone else, but Steelers were able to move the ball pretty consistently in the second half of that game. The Bills are far better than the Steelers. And I think Tyler agrees with me there. And so, I just think that if the Ravens win, and it's, just because Henry does what Henry does and Lamar is, having a great game, I don't think this is the blowout that we saw, 35-10 week 4 it was. Yeah. I think if Ravens get 35, I think Buffalo's game 28-27, it's going to be a good game. So do whether it's his rushing or his passing yards and a rushing touchdown or passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, something like that. I would just bet on Allen to kind of go off.
To your point, if you did Allen anytime, Allen 2 passing touchdowns is 3-1. Of course, if you did Allen anytime and Allen 3 passing touchdowns, it's almost 9-1. So, yeah, especially 3 passing touchdowns. Because you're saying he's the reason they're scoring. And I don't, because I really don't see them getting touchdowns on the ground. So I really don't mind that outside of potentially him, doing the hero ball stuff. So I do like that look, which kind of tied into our anytime touchdowns. So I like that a lot. And I like your call, Steve, about like just you can attack the Lions however you want to, whether you parlay some of the minus together, whether you do JMO. I think Lions are going to put up a lot of points this Saturday night. So, all right. So we covered alts, we covered anytime touchdowns. Parlay for the weekend. We've been doing fairly well with these. Tyler, what do you like for a parlay? And it can be anything. Parlay together, a game parlay, whatever you're thinking.
Can you go to Steve first? I'm building mine out right now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Okay. Steve, what do you like?
Okay. I'm going to go in the Washington Lions game. And I do. It's what we talked about. It's I like Jane Daniels rushing, 60 plus.
Okay.
I like from the receiving side for Washington, I like Zacchaeus, 40 plus. And then I like Lions.
Gotta get some JMO in there.
Yeah, JMO.
JMO, my best ball hero.
I'm taking him up to 80.
Oh, baby.
And then I was debating on a fourth piece, and I was either debating Monty's rushing, but I think we can go Gibbs receiving 25 plus.
Okay, Gibbs receive. I like that. I was just building a low line one that would probably have something like that, but I like that a lot.
And those four together are 24-1.
Oh, I like that a lot. Very fun. I mean, that's a game that you can have a lot of fun because we do expect points. We'll go to Tyler in a minute. Let me. Andrew says Hopkins' first TD against his old team. I mean, I think we talked about a lot of TDs that we liked for the Chiefs. Didn't even mention Hopkins, I don't believe. I think they're all, I don't think they're not all going to get there. Some are. I think Hopkins is very live against his old team. I mean, the seasoning coffee is just fun. But yeah, no, what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it first TD, but I definitely like Hopkins anytime. I mean, you can do it just for fun.
Yeah. No, that's a fun.
I would not be surprised if they get Hopkins a touchdown.
And Jamie asked, Bateman over or under 44.5 yards? I'll go to you first, Tyler. I'll let you each answer this.
I wouldn't bet that until I know Zay Flowers' status.
He's looking out, right? Is it?
That's what it looks like.
Has he practiced yet? I don't think there's.
I know he missed yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure about today.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about today yet.
Okay, 7 hours ago, this is just Google News feed. Adam Schefter paints a grim look for Ravens wide receiver to play. Missed practice yesterday. I don't see. 47 minutes ago, NBC. Flowers remains out at practice Thursday. So I think probably. Then. Yeah, Steve, you agree?
Yeah. I agree. And what I will say, though, is what I said earlier. I still think his anytime touchdown might be the easiest way to target it. Because if the game script, no matter what, I feel like Lamar's thrown a couple, and Bateman's got just great equity in that department.
Okay. I like that. All right. So Steve had a Lions, Washington, SGP. What do you got, Tyler?
I'm going for the Rams.
Okay.
We're going with the upset script here.
Oh, okay.
Give me Stafford 250 passing yards.
Okay.
Give me Rams minus 2.5. Give me a Puka touchdown and Kyron over 2.5 catches. That comes up to 22-1.
Oh, man. Wow. Damn. I mean, I think the Eagles are going to win, but again,
we just get on Stafford's back and hopefully he rides us into Detroit into the NFC Championship game.
No, that's a fun one. Okay, I'm running back. It's kind of boring, but I'm running back actually, let me add one more leg. These low lines have been, I've hit a few of these low line parlays this year, just looking for that low hanging fruit of tight ends, quarterback rushing, running back receiving. I love hitting that kind of market. Last week we got Likely. I'm going to go back there, 40 plus Likely, 40 plus Dalton Schultz, go back to 25 plus Eckler. And I know Steve did it, but I'll add in 25 Jahmyr Gibbs. And Oh, because the same game parlay, and now I'm not able to get the thing. Well, before I added Gibbs, it was 6-1, but I don't mind adding Gibbs 25 or even Monty at his line, which is, really low. So yeah, Tim says Gibbs is a lock. With Monty coming back, that, it throws a little bit cold water on it, but not really, because like we said, they were both getting 25 receiving for many, many games this season. So I just think we see how Dan Campbell plays. His foot's going to be on the gas. I just think they will be able to likely do what they want. And so, yeah, I'll likely do the Gibbs 25. So I'm going back to the low lines thing. All right, now it's time to build a parlay together. Let me go to chat though. I do like Goddard. Tim's call, Goddard might turn it up a notch. He played week 18, looked good. Had I think he had a fairly good line last week, right? Am I?
Yeah, he got the touchdown.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of. Okay.
But I mean, they didn't throw a ton. I'm trying to remember the game, but
yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, his Hurts attempts were so low. It was so low.
Yeah.
I mean, so anyways, okay. So now we've covered alts. We've covered anytime touchdowns. We each gave a parlay. Now we have to build a show parlay. Tyler, you hit the one last week. You started us off hot, and Steve and I's legs let us down. You got the Mixon 80 plus. Check. We got that. Then Baker, we needed 3 touchdowns. He got 2 passing touchdowns. We needed 80 from Addison, and he, I think, was in the 40-some or something like that. I can't remember. But so Steve and I did not get home. We're gonna back you up this time, Tyler. Tyler, what's your first leg for show?
I'll kick it off with the first game. Leave the last 3 for you guys. Give me Kelsey 60 plus.
Okay, I like that. Let me see. Let me throw that in. Okay, we got Kelsey 60 plus. Steve, what do you got?
I'm gonna, this was what I said earlier. Give me JMO. I'm gonna just, since it's fun, I'm gonna do 70 plus for JMO in this.
Okay, all right, and I am gonna do. Let's see. I'm debating between. I did Austin Eckler in the other one, so I won't do that again. Okay, because I do like that low lines one. I'll probably put that out as one of our official parlays on Dub Club. I'm thinking as we talk through the Baltimore Buffalo game, I'm thinking Josh Allen rushing. What do you guys think?
I like that call.
Yeah,
proper touch just as anytime.
No, excuse me. Pushing his rushing to like 50 or 60.
Gotcha.
Okay, 50 you get plus odds. If we just kind of want to keep it where it's at, we get a 10-1. So we got 60 plus Travis Kelce, 70 plus Jamison Williams, 50 plus Josh Allen rushing for 10-1. I'll price it out on FanDuel as well, see where it's better, and then share it on Twitter, share it on Dub Club, all the things. So it's kind of a 50, 60, 70 parlay here. I like that. I love when you get a little good theme here. Yeah, I like Tim says JMO, couple long catches. Yeah. Let's hope St. Juice doesn't hold the hell out of him because he just like molests receipt. He's so bad at penalties. So because they're going to get the yards anyway. So just let us get our prop line if we're going to get
the yards count.
Yeah, let the yards count. Exactly. So yeah, we covered it all. Alts, anytime touchdowns, parlays. We built a show parlay. We'll put it on Twitter. We'll put it out on Dub Club. I'm still coping with depression of only 3 weeks left. So I'm just going to enjoy this damn weekend, try to get some winners. Tyler, final thoughts for the people.
Final thoughts. I think it's going to be a fun week. We talked a lot about tight ends on the show. One last parlay. Why not just tight end touchdown parlay? But if you just take Kelsey, Laporta, and Andrews, you're at 16-1. Mm-hmm. And if you want to mess around with the likes of Goddard and Higbee, Goddard pushes you up to 74-1. And if you go Higbee instead, Higbee gets you up to 90-1 with those 4. So I don't hate doing a little tight end touchdown parlay.
I like that. What was Kelsey, Laporta, Andrews?
You have 16-1.
I kind of like that. We did talk a lot of touchdown tight ends and tight end props and tight end touchdowns. I kind of like that. And like you said, then if you want to spice it up, however,
you could even mess around with the likes of I'm forgetting you could use Dawson Knox, you can use Kincaid. Like you had Knox to that 3, 86-1. Like
Jesus, oh my God! I kind of like who are our favorite. Like you said, I like adding it to that. But who are our favorite like long shot? Why don't we each give a favorite long shot touchdown? So one of us has to do Knox because we've talked about it, but I don't care who wants to pick Knox. But we mentioned a couple other long shot touchdowns. I think that's kind of fun too. I'll go to you first, Tyler. What's your favorite long shot touchdown? We talked through a few of them.
Favorite would probably be the Knox one, but I'm not going to use that one.
No, you can use that one.
What about the other tight end in KC, Noah Gray? How many times have we seen this dude catch passes? We have a lot of Kelsey in these parlays. Why not put a little insurance and get a little Noah Gray?
Well, what has he done? We always talk about playoff Kelsey, right? And then and they do have so many weapons. What has he done the past 2 postseasons? Has Gray done anything?
Let me get you the exact numbers on that.
Let's take a look at that first before we.
Tim
says anyone in Detroit is liable to score. I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Can I get a Dan Skipper?
Penny Sewell catch for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Any Detroit offensive lineman.
I will say, and you talked about it. Dalton Schultz, the tight ends versus Kansas City. He's plus 340. That's not bad.
Yeah. Okay, so if Tyler's favorite was Knox, so let's go Knox. You said Schultz again. Did he have a touchdown in that game? I think he might have actually. I know he got over his line. Hold on, let me look that up too while we.
You wanted Kelsey's playoff log, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I want to know Noah Gray's playoff log to see did he do anything touchdown wise in the playoffs, or does it just play out the whole playoff Kelsey narrative? I'm looking up Dalton Schultz, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Where is Dalton Schultz?
He has yet to catch a touchdown in the playoffs. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. I do think because the whole, you're absolutely right. I mean, similar to Buffalo and Baltimore, Kansas City has those like weirdo, guys that get the touchdown. Noah Gray being one of them. But when it comes to playoffs, I think if we're leaning into playoff Kelsey narrative, okay, Casey. Yeah, Schultz did have a touchdown. So, that is like the funnel. Okay, so you go Knox. Steve goes Schultz. I got to bring it home here. What else?
Well, I'll let you do Schultz. I actually have another one that I like.
No, that's what is it? Oh, okay. Okay, let's get. Okay, so I'll do Schultz. He's Tyler said Knox. What do you got for your long odds?
I'm going to go Justice Hill plus 500 on DraftKings. Bills are susceptible to backs catching the ball out of the backfield.
Good call. Yeah.
I just, he got banged up a few weeks ago, but he's back, fully back now. And
he had a touchdown pass last week, right?
Yeah,
wasn't that the one that Lamar scrambled, got it last minute right before the half? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put those 3 together too to see what we got. Okay, so gotta find it. Dalton Schultz. Okay, that's plus 340. And then we're looking for Knox and Justice Hill. So that's the same game. Might need to do. Actually, I'm on the Baltimore. Let me just build it here. So Justice Hill is what on? Okay, yeah, plus 550 on FanDuel. Dawson Knox plus 550 right away, right off the jump. You're at 33.24. So if we can get one in the first game with Schultz, then these two are very exciting. If Schultz fails you can always just sprinkle on this to still get you home. And then we add in Schultz. Might have to share this one too. Plus 330. Yeah, you got 146 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's we were mentioning tight ends. We were mentioning these long odd guys. So that's kind of a combination of some long odds and a couple of tight ends. But I also liked your Kelsey Laporte Andrews one. Go ahead.
So one thing I was going to say to Tyler's tight end thing, I like that a lot. And what I would also do is, like you mentioned, adding probably Dallas Goedert. So you get one from each game, and then I'd round robin it. Because one, if somebody lets you down, you're not dead. And whether you do both the 3 and the 2 bets, look, if it all hits, you're totally Yahtzee. And if 3 of those tight ends hit, you're going to be paid off real nice.
Real nice. Cousin it really nice. All right. So your final thoughts were, Tyler, give them to me again, because I was focusing on all these other. I
just think it's going to be a fun week. I think there's going to be a couple really good games. Hopefully the Baltimore game doesn't blow out exactly like I think, but hopefully they win for my bets. I just think it's going to be a good weekend of football. So
All right. I like it.
Bets.
I hope so. Steve, final thoughts for the weekend.
Yeah, like 3 of these games we have bigger spreads, and that's scary because last week we had a lot of blowout playoff games. So I think this gets a little closer. And yeah, I'm just hoping for a really fun week. A lot of good football, a lot of good props, and yeah, really excited.
Yeah. Tim says so many touchdowns in Detroit, and yeah, let's go football. Let's go. Even if some spreads are bigger, I hope we just get some points, some fun games, like Tyler said, and just get home our bets. So we always appreciate you guys in chat. We're not going anywhere. We're here through the rest of the playoffs, Super Bowl. Then it'll be best ball season again. It just all comes full circle here. So we appreciate you being here. Good luck this week in divisional round. Let's hit some bets. For Tyler, for Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you next week.